of it. All right, finally, the last question that we asked our viewers, and they have voted. Should India increase the number of members of parliament? Well, 56% of the viewers who have cast their votes say yes, the members of parliament need to be increased now. 6% are on the fence about this. 38% of the people feel that no, the members of parliament, which is 245 in the Rajya Sabha and 543 in the Lok Sabha, is sufficient to be the representatives of the 140 crore people that live in our country. Deshat Nigam, your view on this?
Well, Megha, in fact, we have one of the highest ratios of people to member of parliament, and which is, if you compare to the rest of the world, 150 crore people and you have 543 members of parliament in the Lok Sabha, which is very abysmal. And we know that it has been frozen till 2026, and then fresh delimitation will start. And that fresh delimitation, I am not sure whether the people surveyed were aware of this, that fresh delimitation 2026 onwards will start, which will fix new number of seats. That is why new parliament building has come up with large capacity so that it can accommodate the number of seats that has to come in future. And secondly, north-south divide has to be taken care of. It cannot purely be in terms of population, because the population of the south is going down, and whereas in certain northern states is still there. Therefore, the south should not feel disadvantaged when the number of seats are increased.
Okay.
And that is where one has to be very careful.
Yeah, it has also become controversial in wake of the comments that have come from political party leaders down in the south as well. Manasvi Thapar, do you think the delimitation exercise and the census is going to be disadvantageous to the southern states of the country, and can there be rectifications made to have a very optimum balance of the representatives of the people from all parts of the country?
Has to be. I don't think there are two ways about it. It has to be equal representation, optimal representation. No state should be marginalized. No voter should be marginalized. That has to be the only way. We cannot marginalize southern states. We cannot marginalize northeast states. As per their population, there has to be representation. There cannot be any two ways about it in a democracy. Further, most importantly, what we have to also say and speak is the amount of time spent in parliament. That also has to be increased. We cannot just have 20 days of sessions. We have to have at least 200 days of working parliament. Parliamentarians are elected to be working, and we have seen that parliaments don't work properly. The time allocated has been not functioning properly. What we see is fights in the parliament, no actual action happening. The bills have to be discussed, debated, and the discourse for the future of this country has to be properly nailed out. That is missing. That's the most missing point. More than delimitation is debate in the parliament. That is not happening.
Okay.
So that's the first step. You have to mandatorily spend time in the parliament. From the current 80 to 100 days, we have to increase it to at least double it up, so that the speed in which the country should grow has to be debated and has to be discussed. Most importantly, discussed. That is not happening. So at least.
Okay, but I'm clearly on the fence, because with the number of bills that have been passed in the parliament, the winter session was once again a ruckus that had been created, chaos. So I wonder how much of constructive work can be achieved if the number of days are increased for the parliamentarians to be part of the winter session and the budget session and so on and so forth. I'm out of time. I thank both of you for joining me on the telecast for this special Bharat Pulse Survey series. Stay tuned on the